I imagine the next regime would be oligarchy, the regime based on property qualifications, where the rich rule and the poor man is excluded from power. Do we have to explain how the change from tyranny to oligarchy first takes place? Yes. The regime we described is destroyed by the strong room full of gold which each man possesses. They start by inventing extravagances for themselves, and this leads them to bend the laws, since neither they nor their wives are prepared to obey them. That's likely enough. The next step, I suppose, will have been for them to start eyeing one another and competing with one another, and in this way they would reduce the whole population to their own level. Very likely. After that, presumably, they would become still further involved in making money, and the higher the value they put on that, the lower the value they would put on virtue. Isn't virtue always at odds with wealth in this way? As if they were in the two scales of a balance, always trying to move in opposite directions. Exactly, he said. And as wealth and the wealthy are more valued in a city, so goodness and the good are valued less. Obviously. What is valued at any particular time becomes the common practice. What is not valued is neglected. Yes. Eventually, then, they stop being competitive and ambitious and become mercenary and money-loving. They praise and admire the rich man and admit him to positions of power. The poor man they treat with contempt. Absolutely. At that point, they pass a law defining the oligarchic regime. They establish a wealth qualification, larger in an extreme oligarchy, smaller in a more moderate oligarchy, and declare that anyone whose property does not reach the prescribed value is debarred from the government. Either they put this into effect by force of arms, or else they've already established this kind of regime earlier by intimidation. Isn't that how it's done? It is. So that, more or less, is how it becomes established. Yes, he said. But what are the characteristics of this regime, and what are the kind of faults we said it possessed? Well, I said, the first fault is this very thing which defines its nature. Think what it would be like if you appointed ship's captains in this way, on the basis of a property qualification, and refused to command to a poor man, even if he was better qualified. I think it would be a sorry voyage they'd find themselves making, he said. And the same with any position of command over anything. That's certainly my opinion. With the exception of a city, or including a city. It is especially true of a city, he said, since the responsibility a city brings is the greatest and the most demanding. This would be one great failing, then, possessed by oligarchy.
Oh, pie's done. Good morning. Pie is done. Beep, 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 beep. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I got my aliens behind me. Like, oh Lord, it's gonna be an alien discussion. No, it's not. You know what? This is where I come up with something, and then my friends make me talk about something else. That's how this has been going. Good morning, everybody. Where I come up with some ideas in my head, my friends make me talk about what they want me to talk about. That's just how it goes. I was thinking about abduction. Ooh, I was thinking about abduction. Somebody tell me that abductions are not real. That's what I want. I want to hear abductions are not real. I want to talk about oligarchy and what will not happen under an oligarchy. We have an oligarchy. Now let's talk about what won't happen. Anything that does not make money. Let me change the background. I think it's Friday today. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, monkeys. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody got bananas, man. Well, when the monkeys got bananas, good things happen. They don't have enough bananas, bad things happen. I was listening to Plato Oligarchy. A couple things on my mind this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was thinking about, I was listening to a talk show about alien abductions. And of course, for me, I always try to tie everything that I love into the things that we can see and the things we can't see. I've never seen an alien in my life. Well, I take that back. I probably have. I just don't know what they look like. What can't happen under an oligarchy? Anything that is not profitable. If it's not profitable, like Plato said, if it's not valued, it won't happen. If it's valued, it's gonna happen. So in terms of abduction, I tie that into the whole national defense. Like, there's a reason why you have a national defense, a defense department that never, ever defends anyone. All they defend are the billionaires and trillionaires. They don't defend you. They're not there for you. And the reason why is because, well, they're not national defense. They're not national defense. If you've got, and they say now it's tens of millions of people saying they're being abducted. And these people aren't ever, your defensive people are not listening at all. They're not like investigating. They're not looking into what's happening. To me, I'm suspect. I'm suspect. Anytime, like, so if they were investigating and finding out, oh, there ain't no aliens, right? Well, hang on. A lot of people think I'm talking about alien abduction. I'm actually not. I'm not. I'm actually talking about abduction, period. Period. As above, so below reasoning. In an oligarchy, anything that makes money will happen, period. If it's valued, it's gonna happen. People are yelling and screaming about climate change, running around acting a fool. And I'm just like, slash and burn always was a thing. Why did they slash and burn and kill all the food in the forest when they did it? Because it was profitable, right? Why did it make sense to burn up the deers and the mice and the rabbits and the squirrels and everything that you ate? Well, because it was profitable to burn the land up. And it's funny, we live in a time where we've got such power that you see entire nations burning up. So I always default to geoengineering. Anytime I see a nation catching on fire, Australia, Brazil, California, in these regions, I always default to, was it profitable? Because, like, friends, of course, they'll jump out there and say, death energy weapons, do. I don't know anything about do. What I do know is I'm in an oligarchy. And if it's profitable, it's happening. So let's talk about abduction for a second. So abduction, would alien abduction happen? Well, no. Would abductions be happening in an oligarchy? Absolutely, positively. I mean, this whole nation was built on abduction, right? You think about the Irish kids, the British kids, the first ones, the poor that they shipped to America, and they decided they didn't want to do no work. So they ran off the plantation and blended in with the population. And then the Irish kids that they tried to ship here, and they said that wasn't working out, so they stopped abducting Irish kids and British kids and around Europe, and they started, because they got other poor kids from around Europe to come over here to do some slavery, and that wasn't working out. So they had to go find some darker skinned people, rumors of darker skinned people in the South. So of course they went to the Arabs. Y'all got any really, really dark people that won't blend in with our population? So they started abducting people out of Africa, using the bigger tribes to abduct the smaller tribes, the ones without guns, the ones they didn't give the guns to. So that was abduction. Then you come up to more closer modern times, like all the Native Americans. Think about all the Native American women that go disappearing on a regular basis in Canada and North America. Abductions. You can go back to Australia and all the Aboriginal people who would just disappear. We abduct people. We abduct people all the time. Chicago, somebody told me this the other day. Tell me if this is true. They said if the Chicago has a law that if you are 14 walking around on the streets, that it's called child abandonment. And so foster care will come in your government and abduct your child from you. Happens all the time. And they don't actually have to go into your house and abduct them. They get them right from school that you're mandated to send them to. So you don't even know. One day you send your kid to school, your neighbor reported you yesterday because you let your 13-year-old walk your 10-year-old to the park, and they abduct your children. It's profitable. It's oligarchy. They pretend they care and they steal your children. Right? So government abducts. We've been abducting from the very beginning. But to me, which is how this ties back into the whole national security thing, is they're not investigating anymore. I started watching this show called, what's that show about Project Blue Book? I think it's on the History Channel. I started watching it, I couldn't watch it anymore. Only because, I don't know, I used to listen to this stuff a long time ago. And I kind of think they were kind of going in a little entertainment way. And I always kind of feel like they're always skewing things, facts, Freedom of Information Act, real data. But the the Defense Department doesn't investigate. The Justice Department doesn't investigate. The Pentagon, they're not investigating people disappearing. Why? That's suspect to me. If you have people disappearing, it's suspect. I mean, part of me thinks that, yeah, it probably started out with what they wrote in those ancient texts of Ezekiel and Enoch, and something coming down and grabbing people and taking them away. The Aborigines wrote about that. Some of the Native American tribes wrote about that. The Star people, the Hopi, I mean, they all wrote about it. So to me, it's nothing new. People have been being abducted from the very beginning. We abduct nature all the time. We go in there, we take the monkeys, we take the zebra, we take the lion. Sometimes we bring them back, sometimes we don't. We experiment on them. And to them, what is that to them? That's an alien abduction. You got a couple, all they see is they see a helicopter in the distance, right? And the lion starts to run. I love National Geographic. The lion starts to run. It sees a light in the sky. What the hell? And it starts running. And the next thing you know, it wakes up. You know, because you shoot it, you drug it, it falls over, it wakes up and it sees the light flying away. Oh, the helicopter flew away. That was an alien abduction. So I think as above, so below. But more importantly, no one's investigating. And that always in an oligarchy, it makes my ears stand up. Makes my ears stand up. I kind of think that the pharmaceutical industry is involved in it. I think the chemical industry is abducting people. I think whoever's taking all these Native American women are probably doing it because they think it'll sound like it's like UFO or alien abduction. There's profit in stealing people, so we steal people. But, you know, tied back to national security, we don't have national security because we don't have anybody trying to keep you secure. Not in my country. In my country, they write laws to make me insecure. They write laws to make me insecure, and then they say that they're fighting for my national security. They don't want me secure. They want me insecure because their power is in my insecurity. It's not in my security. Secure people don't need big government. Secure people don't give away their rights to government. Insecure people do that. So there's no national security. And part of that evidence is they don't investigate. I think if they investigate, they might find the pharmaceutical industry is grabbing people, testing on them somewhere, and probably they might even have alien suits. They might, you know, because it makes sense. I think the Defense Department did this thing with the aliens. If you listen to the whistleblowers, they talk about the flying craft they have. They pretend that they're aliens and they're UFO, but really it's their war technology. So I think there's a lot of profit in that. There's a lot of value, right, to the whole abduction alien thing. As above, so below. So if we abduct people, we abduct each other. People who want to rape women, abduct little children, sex trafficking, Epstein Island, all of that's abduction. But nobody's looking into it. All these people going disappearing. Even the kids in foster care going disappearing. Nobody investigates this stuff. So no, we don't have a national defense. I think there are a lot of good reasons why. I try to think like logically at like our level, what's happening on their level, because they don't ever tell us anything true. The news never makes any damn sense. It's like a husband and a wife. The husband wants some new toys, right? He can't go out to the bar anymore, can't hang out with his friends. Had to sell his sports car, stuff like that. They're like, are you speaking from personal experiences? No, not really, not really. I had a great marriage. It's just wrong person. That's a wrong person for the wrong time in my life. But phenomenal things came out of that called children. I was like a husband. He's bored sitting at home, tired of like tricking out the minivan, driving on the street like it's an urban assault vehicle. Honey, I'm not feeling secure. We need to get some security cameras. Why? Because it's a toy. Why do you think everybody's upgrading? They're going to Home Depot, getting these smart houses, smartphones, putting cameras everywhere. I need to feel secure. I want to see what's happening. It's a toy. I can sit at work. I can pull up my house. I can see what's going on. And what happens when you're like staring at that camera? I've seen this. I've seen this happen. I have a person I know who is super insecure because they put in a security system. There's a relationship there. It's a weird thing. Because if your mind's not focused on it, all right, here's an example. Has anybody ever stole your car in your life? Has anybody ever broken into your house? Okay. Me, it's never happened. Not that I know. Nobody stole. Well, first of all, nobody would want to steal my damn car. That's number one. Two, no one's ever broken in my house and woke me up, let me know, hey, Negro, we're stealing some stuff. All right, we'll see you. They never do that to me. So, but if I put a camera in front of my house, and I'm watching it all the time, and I'm paying a monthly fee, and I'm putting motion detectors and all this stuff, then eventually, yeah, the husband got to invent some stuff. Yeah, you know what, honey, I seen some footprints behind the fence, because after about 2-3 years, nobody, because nobody ever robbed you. Nobody ever came to your house. Honey, I think I saw some tracks out back. I don't know, might be a bear or something. He starts inventing things, making things up. I think, yeah, we need to keep paying this fee because the wife is trying to be practical. Like, no, we actually need to buy the kids lunch. And we don't need to be spending $300 a month for a security system. And we are already secure. He created a Pentagon. He created a Department of National Defense, and now he's making up stuff to keep his toys and keep playing. I think the Pentagon and National Defense works the same damn way. As above, so below reasoning. I think that if you want to be secure, you put up a fence and you're done. Which, oh, that can go some bad places. They just got an agreement to put some of the wall up. Billions of dollars to put a wall up to keep the immigrants out. When if you took that just a little bit of that billions of dollars, you could make grow facilities and feed all the people in America and all the immigrants coming in. But you don't have to worry about them coming in. But it makes more sense just to put up a wall and spend billions of dollars doing that instead of just feeding the people who are actually coming here for food. That's what I'm saying. There's no national defense. They don't want to defend you. They want to embezzle money from you and keep this unsustainable world moving forward. I think that's how they work. I think they invent problems. They create insecurities in people to keep national defense because they want to keep their toys like the husband. And so there is no national security. We are secure. We've always been secure. They made a business out of national defense. And so now we're attacking every nation on the planet or every continent on the planet, making the American people insecure because the rest of the world hates you. Like, it's just weird. It's weird thing. Nothing came to my mind. Now I'll read some comments. I was thinking about national security from a terrorist perspective, war on terror. Outside of the fact that people that like me who read books and Freedom of Information Act requests, we created all the terrorists. We created all of them. Why in the world on a national level would you be scared of poor people who live in clay huts and ride camels? How does that make, on a national level, a thousandaire can't affect national defense? You get what I'm saying? A millionaire can't even affect a nation's defense. There's no offense that they can mount that would make that nation insecure. It's impossible. The only threat to national security is not poor terrorists, if you will. The only thing that can threaten national security are billionaires and trillionaires and people above that. Those are the only people who can, which is why I think they own the media and they get us all discombobulated, the foolish people mad at the terrorists, poor people who actually can't affect you. They can't have to be, can't even get here. They live in the desert. They ain't got no boats. No boats in the desert. But it's just crazy. I like how people think, the gullibility. But as above, so below. Reasoning. And yes, I'm gonna keep the aliens in the background because I love aliens. I don't, the way my mind works, after I processed that there were endless planets out there, endless solar systems, there's no question we're not alone in the universe. We're complete. You are only alone in your little narcissistic sociopathic head. Like the people who modified all these religions, I think the thing that they didn't count on a day coming where we had satellites to show us that all of that's out there. See, it makes sense that God wants to control your life or gods, if you're on one little planet and the monkeys are fighting each other, because then God can focus. But when you have an endless universe, and this God thing is a creator of universes and just gave free will, I don't think God gave free will because it really loved us or anything. I think God is busy. I think God didn't have a whole lot of time. But I think the people who created this stuff is mostly, they never considered a time in the future, or they didn't care about a time in the future, or they didn't know that a time would come where we would really realize it is a narcissistic idea that we're the only intelligent life in the universe. I don't think they saw that coming. But we have to adapt now that we see this. And so I've adapted. I wanted aliens to exist when I was a kid. I was raised in the church. And then once I processed it, it's an impossibility that they're not out there. It's an impossibility that they don't actually come here and grab people here and there like we do the squirrels and the bears and the lions and everything else. I'm pretty sure they do. I don't think they do as much as what people say, but I'm sure they do. But you can't delineate what's real from what's fake because nobody investigates any of this stuff. I don't know, that's how my mind works. So if intelligent life exists out there, and it's obvious the religions are kind of designed towards a focus on what the kings and the lords wanted, then I have to walk away from that. I have to walk away. Anyway, good morning. That's where my mind's going now. Y'all make me talk about something else. Good morning. Who we got? Uh-oh, somebody picked. No, we're not talking about no pictures today. Let me see. I know holistic doctors who were forced to let certain people in their offices go. It's a total witch hunt. I know holistic doctors who were forced to let certain people in their offices go. It's a total witch hunt. I'm not sure where that's going, Susan. If you mean like the disappearance of the holistic doctors, absolutely that would happen. Absolutely. That's an abduction. That makes perfectly good sense. They abducted Dr. Sebi, right? Because Dr. Sebi cured, and he proved in the court of New York that he cured cancer and diabetes and a few other things and sickle cell anemia. And he proved it, and the very next day, Tawana Brawley happened. So everybody focused on that instead of focused on Dr. Sebi. But they abducted him, they put him in prison, and he died. So that makes perfectly good sense to me. They've been going after holistic doctors from the very beginning. That's why I appreciate, look, y'all posting about brother from brother, I always post his videos. The High Wire. Dr. Dell. I always post his videos. Why do I post them? Because I don't want that brother to disappear. I don't want him going nowhere. That man gets on there and he knows what he's talking about. This is the beautiful thing about today, right? As above, so below. Think back in history when you had the longest running clinical trial study in the human race has always been natural medicines, right? Take this plant, take this root, mix it that, pulp this, upturn this, flip this, put it on the guy with the blue bumps, and something happens, positive or negative, right? So we know for thousands of years the plants that help us. But they had to break that. They had to abduct the shaman. They had to get rid of those people because the pharmaceutical industry can't have that. They had to create an AMA, an American Medical Association, owned by pharmaceutical companies that can only sell synthetic pharmaceutical drugs that don't have side effects. They have effects of your body saying, get that crap out of me. And so every now and then you got a couple doctors standing up, and just from my perspective, Dell is the only one who stood up that ain't got yet. That's why I watch and I post it. But he has a methodical approach to showing you, here's the deal. I love science, I love religion, I love ancient archaeology, and I love some common damn sense. All right. So absolutely, you have to promote the people who are fighting for you. And Dell is one of the ones that's fighting for you. But just again, as above, so below. This is an oligarchy. Every time I watch one of the brothers' videos, I'm always posting, hey, we're an oligarchy. Calm down, keep calm. Remember, you have an oligarchy. You do not have a democracy, you have an oligarchy. If it makes money, it's gonna happen. And so they lie to people, and they create this religion called Essenes, because you can't even say the name. All right, anyway. So, once again, as above, so below. I guess we could say as in the past, so in the future. Things unchanged. Thank you. Oh, wait, what's that? There you go, sir. Please accept my friend request. John knows. Absolutely. I accept everybody's friend request till I run out. And when I run out, I got to go get rid of some of the monkeys. And then, so it's easier if I post something and I just say unfriend me. I'll post something like, listen, you know what? If you're not really ready for this, just unfriend me. You know, if you think that you're the only intelligent life in all of that universe stuff, you should probably unfriend me. I love you to death, and we can be friends later. But if it's not really for you just yet, you know, if you think the pharmaceutical industry is here to help your health, you think they're here to save your life, then okay, you might want to unfriend me. I don't know. My mind is trying to go places it's never been before. You know, and so I clear people up and then I bring people in. So absolutely, 1915 Rothschilds, Hillary gone with it. Once again, you know, unfriend me now. Unfriend me now if you have no idea what happened in 1913 and 1933 and don't give two damns about it. If you don't give two damns about it, you probably should unfriend me now, because half of my posts gonna sound like they're alien anyway. You're not gonna have any idea what we're talking about. I ask that question every now and they say, what nation, what year did they buy America? And my friends and I, we all start debating. Well, it was 1817, 1913, 1933. Well, when this act got written, this law, like people who read laws and pay attention and don't watch the news for their current events, you'll be lost. It'll be like aliens speak. But that's how you vote. That's how you vote to me. That's how you vote. I vote by promoting people who are saying things, one, that the media is not saying, the billionaires media, and two, people who I actually see fruits in their path, right? Fruits in their path. I want y'all talking about the high wire. High wire has proof of vaccine fraud. They do, Peg, which is why they go after them. They try to silence them. They've been trying to do that for a long time. And that's who you promote, because that's how you vote. You vote by promoting the things that don't have a voice that need a bigger voice. And you vote by Amazon. Amazon's another good example. I have no idea why we exist in a universe. I know I wake up in the wrong universe. I know I'm not from this dimension. I do not belong here. I don't belong here with y'all. I live in a country where most of the people buy everything from one company, Amazon. And I'm just like, y'all, you know, if you think big business is a bad idea, you think them owning your government was kind of dangerous, what do you think it's going to be like when you got like one megalord named Jeff Bezos that owns every damn thing? Then we're in trouble. Oh, you think we got trouble now? You think you got the aliens don't even care about you? Like, to be honest with you, that's my. I don't think we're significant to the aliens. I think we are to aliens what the lion is to us. Right? We got people hunting lions. You got people who want to hunt them. You got people who want to eat them. You got people who just want to just kill them, leave them, and see if they can shoot them from a helicopter. You got people who want to study them, who will go out and get them. You got people who want to put them in zoos, and you got people who will go out, study them, and then leave them in the field. You know? And if you think about like the disappearance rate of people going disappeared, like it. I just think the Department of Defense should investigate. That's what I think. Highwire has a new info video exposing fraud from the World Health Organization debt conference. I saw that, Peg, and it was freaking phenomenal. If you didn't watch it, you need to go to the Highwire and watch it. Is this the one where he went to the panel where they're doing a worldwide investigation in front of a panel into the use of vaccines and other things that affect, well, they're investigating a bunch of stuff. It's like an international criminal court, like the one America said we don't want to be a part of because we're oligarchy. We got to make some money. We don't really care if it hurts people. And they're like going through the evidence. And so, yeah, I heard him speak, and he left a big old packet for them to read. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So probably my next post will be unfriend me now if you didn't share out Del Bigtree's video speaking. You know, people, and they listen too, because they're like, I'm gonna unfriend you because I ain't sharing, I ain't gonna share it. I got a job to do. I got to sell some drugs. All right, whew. I saw them lock my doors. I've been fussed at for walking away from my purse in a cart at the grocery. Wonder if being fearful of theft inspires thieves in your direction. You know what, Rebecca? I think so. I think you manifest all this stuff. This is why I have a guru who like spends time in the Sixth Sense type stuff. I think so. I think you manifest it. Because people who get security systems who've never been robbed from in their life, that's all they think about. They see people on the camera. They watch anytime it comes on TV or the news, whatever, they tune into that. And then other people do that. And so you start building a world of insecurity. And then you got other thieves who are thinking about it now because it's like in the public ethos and that's what's making money, that's what's selling papers. And so they're promoting that more. You have more companies, you know, making security devices and trying to scare people, making commercials. And I think it builds up this national world insecurity. And I think if most of us really thought about it, we never had to lock our doors. We never had to lock our cars. We didn't need the security systems. And I think that's weird in how the world works. We're manifestation engines, right? Like the things we conceive, we end up achieving, right? The fax machine to the car, the airplanes, balloons, the things we think about happen. The nocebo and placebo effect. Like to me, that's one unfriend me now. If you don't realize when we discovered the placebo and nocebo effect, we should have collapsed Big Pharma. Freed the doctors, got rid of the AMA, and let doctors go be healers again. Because doctors were turned into chemists from being healers. Why would they do that? Well, because it makes money. We're in an oligarchy. You can't have people out there healing people. How crazy is that? You get the blue bumps and you give John a plant or something, he can grow in his backyard for free, the blue bumps go away. Hell no, you can't make no money doing that. You need John to keep them bumps. You need John to have one bump. That's you don't want John to have a whole face of blue bumps because you gotta see John everywhere. It's not working. But if he went from a face of all blue bumps and every once a few months, once a few years, a bump reappears, then John won't keep taking his medication. Somebody can make some money from that. We are an oligarchy, which is why we'll do that. Plato's an important man to study. Good morning. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Max. Let me see. Who's that? Max Joy. Can you respect my friend? Yes, who is that? Max Joy. What is your name? You always got these club names. Is your name Max Joy on Facebook? Is your name Max Joy on YouTube? Are you on Facebook now? Yes, I am, Max Joy. Hello, I'm here. Max, I don't know, Max. I guess that's Max over there. Good morning, Max. How you doing? It's my family from somewhere else, and I don't even know who it is. Anyway, it's Freedom Friday. Anybody feel free today? Anybody feel free today? We should have stopped voting when we were free. You're not going to get me to vote if I don't feel free anymore. I have new rules every day I invent. You're not going to get me pulling the lever voting. I vote with my money, my shares, my dollars, and everything else. But you're not going to get me voting if I'm not free. I think freedom is the highest everything. No, it's the lowest everything. Like, that's the bare minimum. If we feel free, we should be supporting our government. If we don't feel free, then we should not be supporting our government because they're the ones who took the freedom. So all the other stuff that y'all debate, I'm not interested in. I'm interested in being free. If I got free will, the things that this God thing done gave me, then we good to go. If you taking my free will, Oh, Max Joyce, John. Oh, is that why? John, I got John is on my list, Lori, like 8 times. I got 8 Johns on my list. Now, he need to stop yelling at people. He yell at people. That's why he does, John, people block him and he keeps creating new profiles. Oh my goodness. John, be nice, man. Just be nice. One day, John, you're going to discover. One day you will discover when you are nice to people, their ears just open right up. They can hear you when you're nice to people. When you got that aggression and stuff, like that's just how Americans, that's how we do in the West. You come at me with a little aggression, I'm gonna come back at you. I lost a good friend because of John. John, I think I lost her. I don't know, I think she gone. She Elizabeth, I don't know if she's still around. I know her in the real world. I think she unfriended because of you. But I had to be honest in that thread because she was fussing and you was fussing and both of y'all like fussing. I'm not a fusser. I don't know enough to fuss. I don't. I live in a world where they lie to me everywhere from every angle. I don't fuss. I give information. You give yours. We can have like a little discussion about it. Then I'm done. Y'all get the fussing. You called her this. She said that. You said that. And then I got in trouble because something you said. I ain't getting in trouble because I ain't do nothing. I don't do nothing. I didn't even read the thread. But be nice to people. You be nice to people, people listen to you. If you approach them with this, then that's going to happen. And I guess she approached you with this and you gave her some of that, and then somehow I got in trouble. Don't pull me in y'all's conversations because I got important things to think about. Del Big Tree from the Doctor Show. Yes, Georgia. He was on the Doctor Show till he decided to no longer be a doctor and be a healer. And they threw him off of that monkey show. They said, hell no, no, we need sick monkeys. You can't be on there trying to heal monkeys. So they threw him off of that show. Hell no, that's not how America works. We are an oligarchy. If you were big time, got a big name on TV, you better be making somebody some big dollars. You better be making an industry some big dollars. They're going to throw you off. So no, he didn't fit in again. In life, you got to keep moving. He didn't fit in no more. He was trying to heal people. They would know you can't have that. We trying to get advertising dollars, man. That comes from the pharmaceutical industry. Who do you think number one advertiser for the Doctor Show is? The same one, number one advertiser for the Dukes of Hazzard is. Same advertiser. That's all you see is the pharmaceutical industry. You're not allowed to speak against them. We'll talk about how the kings and lords didn't go away. Them's kings and lords, big time. I kind of want to look at the news a little bit. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Peg. Now I realize why Big Pharma off those holistic doctors and World Health Organization is a fraud. Absolutely, Peg, because the World Health Organization wouldn't exist if they were concerned with world health. That's not how Rothschilds and Rockefellers work. That's not how the kings and lords and coffers have ever worked. There you go, sir. Please accept my John. No, okay, John, did I read that again? G-Man, watched the High Wire yesterday. Oh my gosh, historical. I didn't watch yesterday, Georgia. I have to watch. I posted yesterday because, certain people, I don't actually have to watch the video. I watched the one when he was on the panel and they invited him back to be a panelist. His data was just so phenomenal. But I didn't watch yesterday. I just saw the hit. The Dell is on. That's all. I was in the middle. George picking some cotton. To be honest with you, I had my cotton bag. I was in the middle. I was working on this one plant. It's just, because picking cotton is hard in America. Got needles and stuff. That's why slaves got to do it. That's why forced labor. We got to do it till the robots do it for us. And I saw it pop up. Share, don't even have to think about it because the brother's always spot on. I share and people like post when sometimes I should say, well, show me his evidence. Dell literally shows you all of his evidence. I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it, George. When he does a video, you get that I can thing. I was like, I don't need to. I didn't read enough. I didn't realize that you were the number one hated person. If we had an award for the number one hated person on this planet by big pharmaceutical industry that's murdered more people than any other industry other than the war industry, it would be Del Bigtree. I don't have to. They're just waiting in the wings. Pharmaceutical industry, they got departments of people ready to call him on something. Everything that he says has to be spot on lock. Like when I'm talking about aliens, I'm the alien guy. It got to be spot on lock. We're talking about free energy and UFOs. I can't be faking the funk. I got to listen to the whistleblowers and say, listen to the whistleblower. He said this, and your government didn't investigate, which means there's something to it. Okay? So Dell, I don't even want to see the evidence from Dell. Dell, stop sending me stuff. He got too much of it. If anybody has too much damn evidence, it's Del Bigtree. A damn high wire show. Like, here's our evidence. Every statement we said, they send you an email. It's got like 82 links to all the different studies for every word that came out of his mouth after talking for about 2 hours. Oh no, they don't want to deal with him. The pharmaceutical industry is so sick of Dell. I'm fearful of them. I am fearful of them. But we're an oligarchy, and killing your people makes money. Keeping them sick and alive makes money too. All right, there we go. Whew, had to get that out. Peg vaccination crap is everywhere. Yes, it is, Susan. It's a religion right now. 1933, U.S. was sold. Yes, it was, Hillary. It was purchased, and we've talked about that a bunch of times. That people have no idea what I'm talking about because most people still think it's a democracy and they get to control the Rothschilds' country, and that makes no damn sense to me. Good morning, Kim Jackson. All right. I kind of want to look at the news, unless y'all got something else y'all gonna send me to. Let me see. I heard a good source that it's the CIA, Big Pharma, have to make money. Well, you know what? Who's that? Am I saying your name right? Teresa? Absolutely. So the CIA, if you listen to the whistleblowers and you're actually paying attention and you realize that the CIA it's a civilian organization and they make money off of getting America into conflicts by murdering people. They make their money directly from corporations. Corporations actually give them cash to fund the little nonsense that they do around the world. So once again, the CIA is a little oligarchical setup. And if it makes money, they're going to do it. If a corporation's paying for it, they're going to do it. So if Big Pharma pays them, whether it's the energy sector, big oil for hiding free energy, UFOs, whatever. Like, to me, I see economics everywhere. I don't see conspiracies. Once you're an oligarchy and you understand what Plato said, if it makes money, we're going to do it. So if it makes money keeping people in conflict with each other, hiding free energy devices and UFOs, why you show them right to you on TV? They don't even hide them. Then it makes sense. So I think that, anything that makes money, the CIA is going to get involved in. They're just consultants. That's all they do. They got to make money. And if the industry's buying, we're going to do it. Like Venezuela, that was all just about Koch brother oil. So the CIA went down there. You going to give us a cut of the oil? Okay. Well, the Koch brothers needed that oil. So we need to try to get a war going. That failed. Bolivia with the lithium. Battery industries go in, or industry, battery, small electronics, whoever does that. Goes to CIA, we need some of their lithium. They got the largest lithium reserve on the planet. We need to topple that government. And it happens. And if you watch TV, you think it's about freedom and democracy, and because we love the Bolivian people. Meanwhile, what was it? Morales had the highest approval, higher than every American president, like the last, 15 American presidents, his approval rating in terms of how many people voted for him. But they said, the people don't want him. It had nothing to do with him or the people. It had to do with lithium. So I believe the CIA, they get involved in all that stuff. It's hard to find a book now you want. Unfortunately, I had to go to Amazon. Yeah, Christine, I don't use them. I don't use them at all. I'm done with it. And this is my stance, and it's arrogant as hell, Christine. But if it's on Amazon, I don't need to read it. I don't need it. If you need to send it to me with an Amazon Prime account, That's the information I don't need. If I can't find it online, it's not another book. If I got to read 8 of the books to avoid an Amazon book, I'm gonna do that now. It's just where I am. It's where I am. Not talking about Christine at all. Not talking about nobody. I'm talking about me, where I am. We only get somewhere if we stop telling other people what to do. You share what you're doing, everyone else shares what they're doing. I'm just in my space. I know enough now in my head to know that I have a lying government, and they're not going to stop. It's not their fault. It's because the people believe, because they lie so well and people believe it. So I don't think trading Amazon, trading a lying oligarchical government for Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and billionaires and trillionaires, I don't think that's going to be a good transition. I don't think that's going to be a good thing. So I got rid of my Amazon Prime account. I get little hits all the time. Start your business with your Amazon Prime account. Sell books and sell this and sell that. And I'm like, nope. I think the future of Lex Luthor is gonna hurt. I don't think we need to create any more of them. It's already bad enough with these families. And think about like how the Rothschilds and Rockefellers fight. Is it the Rothschilds? They say that there's 75 of them or something like that. And they say you add it up, there's so many trillions of dollars of what they have in terms of global power and world influence. And they fight each other. Like imagine if you had all of that in one person that didn't fight with himself, unless he was like schizophrenic, which he probably. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's when John Sean get his guns and cannons and stuff, and that's when you got to get hot because now the robot's coming for you, and I don't think it's nothing that you can actually do. A man with that amount of power, they lie to us about everything, and that's why I think people think they're alien and abductions. And I think the vast majority are just corporations and government and just testing on people. They need some test experiments and they don't want to pay you. Remember how they used to take out that ad in the paper in the classified, we'll pay you $800 if you take this study. You take an injection. I've never done that. Thank goodness. I have privilege where I didn't have to respond to one of those classified ads. I mean, I've had it rough sometimes, but I never had it that rough. They inject you with something, they just don't want to do that. And they have technology that's far beyond us, these flying ships that they're showing, the Navy video and all that stuff, then yeah, you would think it's aliens and UFOs and crazy stuff, and really it's just your government. You're just outsourcing. You know how they outsource the Pentagon to corporations? They just outsource their flying ships to the pharmaceutical industry. They had a new drug they need to test on people, and they just send it out there and pick you up. And people are like, oh my gosh, they hear stuff like that. That just sounds crazy. And then all you got to do, as above, so below, as in history, so right now. Did we abduct people? Hell yeah, we did. Anytime it was profitable, we stealing people. We stealing people right now. We steal kids off the street every day for the prison industrial complex. So don't tell me we don't outsource stealing people to industries that are paying our oligarchy. Do in those war zones manifest death remaining? Oh, the comment just flew off. I'm sorry. I can got them up in comments. I didn't have anything other than to talk about today. Do those dying of famine manifest death by hunger? I don't know. I think it's more complicated than that, just like we are. I think, Natalie, let me think about that for a minute. Do those dying of famine manifest death by hunger? I wouldn't say, I would think the majority don't. I think it's more of Americans manifest good Christmases. Americans manifest, I don't know, small electronics. Americans manifest self-driving cars and upgrading their cell phones every time they can. And those nations get destroyed because that's where the minerals tend to be. And so if you can get a lot of people off the land, that happens. I think we all work together, Natalie. I think that manifestation thing, I think it's a universal thing. I think we all work together, which is why when they do those studies, when they get everybody together to do like massive yoga in an area, they see crime go down. Like, look that up. There's some deep stuff. I think we all work together. But if you have 340 million people manifesting self-driving cars with new lithium batteries that can drive over 50 miles an hour and have the torque of a sports car with gas, then that means the 50 million people that live in that rural area where all that lithium is, called Bolivia, is going to get toppled. I think it's a balance. I think everything is in a balance. I think it's an ecosystem and how energy and manifestation works. If I'm understanding it right, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I think it's all like a balance thing. And that's why we need to be well-wishing. And I think that's kind of what prayer is. I think part of what prayer came from was like this well-wishing thing where the monks sitting in caves or whoever, they figured out if they all get together and think about this way, these things start to happen. I think it's like the placebo effect, right? When you think about it, it happens. Mind over matter is a very real thing. The other thing I was thinking about is Antarctica. I don't know what y'all think about it, but I mean, and engaging in the climate change discussions and looking up, you know, the fact that the majority of time on this planet, where we live is not human habitable. That the majority of time we're here, or the majority of time life has been on Earth, the only habitable place was the Antarctic and the Arctic. And what would that tell you? Well, think about it like this. If human beings are millions of years old, based in like Mary Leakey and these archaeologists finding human footprints in stone with dinosaurs, and all over Europe, they're finding those stone tracks, like the wheel carts that actually went through stone and it became stone over millions of years, and all the parts that they've been finding, knowing that humanity's millions of years old. We didn't live here. We didn't live anywhere the archaeologists are digging. Like, think about that. The longest running civilizations would be in the Arctic. It would be in Antarctica. It would be in the places that were tropical and green, not in the places where there was like a block of ice or fire and lava. So the longest place that the human civilization would be on this planet, if those highest technologies existed where they created all these megalithic structures, it would be in the Antarctic. The Antarctic. The only place you're not allowed to go. The only places archaeologists aren't allowed to go. You know, if there were some ancient human civilization that had high technology, it wouldn't be in North America, it wouldn't be in Russia, it wouldn't be in Europe, wouldn't be anywhere. There was just a block of ice where nobody could live. It would be up north. It would be down south. It would be in the places that we're not allowed to go. And I just find it suspicious. And you know, if all these countries that are at war with each other and in conflict with each other can all come together and agree on anything, then I think everybody in those countries need to think about what they're agreeing on. Okay? To me, that sounds like a scam and collusion. What all the nations agree on? They all agree on geoengineering. They all agree. They only signed that pact if they agreed that they can only use geoengineering in their own country. You know, and so they could use they wouldn't use it as a weapon against other people. And we just find out in time that if everybody's using geoengineering in their own countries, yes, probably what causes climate change. Climate's to change because you're stealing the clouds from somebody else. And that affects global everything. But most people don't talk about that. And that's what's being banned on social media. So to me, I'm saying there's something there. But all the countries agree on that, the governments. They also agree that you can't go to Antarctica. So I think there's something there. They all agree on they all agree on the concept of governing, that you are a subject and they rule. They all agree that they're not going to go fight in war. And you will. The poor in their nations will. I don't think nations exist. And I think we need to look at the things that they all have inconsistent, all the rulers around this planet, because those consistencies are getting smaller and smaller in terms of what they all really agree on solidly. Like there is some sort of a global cabal that's running everything and just handing out instructions to all the nations and what they'll do. Calling names for small children. Unfortunately, I agree with you, Lori, it is. At a certain point in time, we need to grow up and stop at the personal attacks. Way too many people over the age of 7 with personal attacks. Once you grow up at a certain point in time, all right, now come on. We're adults now. We got to be mature and have discussions. But that's how you know how you're dealing with someone that you got to. I'll be nice and I'll say, it doesn't necessarily indicate that they're immature. But it indicates that you got to them with something and they don't have an intellectual, data, factual response or reasoning response, that all they can come at you is with a name and a personal attack. Then that's how you know that conversation is drawn to an end. At that point, I just begin to get humored. Like, yeah, I know you got, what you gonna say about that? I know you got nothing to say. It's like, okay, we need to fight climate change. No, I don't actually want to fight it because literally the climate's supposed to change. And I don't think that you're smart enough to change it. And I think if we change it, it's probably on accident. It's probably 120 nations playing with technologies that nobody understands. And if the climate's going to change anyway, and we try to stay here, we're all going to die. So maybe we should make some ships with Elon Musk and try to get the hell out of here. To me, that makes some sense. And then people get upset and they call me doo-doo head. Like, wait a minute, no, that ain't got nothing to do with it. I said, like, logically think it through. if the climate's going to change, we're not supposed to be here. Maybe we should put our resources into getting out of here and saving lives while we're here instead of trying to fight what's inevitable. And they're like, you monkey head, something like they'll come up with something. It's just like, all right, I get it now. You're a climate change denier. No, I'm saying that the planet doesn't really agree with you and you thinking that you can stop the planet from doing what the planet been doing for 14 billion years. But then they resort to the name calling. And so, but then we have adults like that. And see, if I call them, it is immature. Of course, it's immature, but there's an emotional part of it. And like there's a rearing part of it and what you've been through part of it that I try to not offend people in, right? Like I don't want to use my privilege, my adult privilege, when dealing with adult children. I don't want to do that because I haven't gone through what they've gone through. And I feel like I'm wrong if I do that. So I try to have as much patience as I can for people. I try to. And just give them the data, and when it turns into a personal attack, I just kind of walk away. I might make a joke, but I try to walk away. Because I don't have the time. I don't have the time. And I love you to death, and I want you to like get there where we can have an intellectual discourse, and walk away. But when it becomes personal, that's how you know that person's really not interested in the truth. They're just interested in controlling you. Right. There's a big difference between people who are trying to work through data and facts and the things that we understand the best that we can with where we are and promote the solutions to fix the problems, and people who just want to like control you and abduct your intellect and make you like them because they don't respect you. They've already decided what's true. So they're not actually seeking what's true. And so when that becomes personal, I like to spend time with people who are on self-discovery. Self-discovery. You got these folks that always want to blame everybody. Everything is everybody else's fault. It's the world's fault. It's your fault. That fault. It's nature. It's this, that. Everything is everybody else's fault. And the older I get, the more I'm just looking back, trying to find out my faults and things. Like, what did I do in this situation that made this person so upset? Let me see if I can change me. Maybe I can change how I talk. Maybe I can change how I interact to try to fix it. But the people who still got these fingers over the age of 15, I don't understand that. Well, actually, I take that back. I do, because I'd had that finger when I was 30. I did have that finger. I had the finger. I take it back. I do. But I'm growing. And I appreciate people being patient with me, and I try to be patient with other people. All right. Let me see. Oh, let's look at the news. I haven't looked at the news in like forever. Oh, goodness, the world could be ending right now, and I wouldn't know. But it wouldn't really matter, because what am I gonna do? Stop. I tend to focus on local things nowadays, but I do want to look at the news every now and again. Otherwise, we become divergent as a world, right? If I don't like to give names to things. I don't like when people say truth community. I don't like that. Truthers. I don't like that. To me, that sounds childish. Sounds like you're saying X-Men, the Avengers. I don't really like how that sounds. I think you just have like adults, people who use reason and logic and science and maybe ancient wisdom to sort through things, but you gotta know what's going on in your world. If you don't know what's going on in your world, then we become too divergent. So people who are like more focused on like dealing with things as an adult, you do gotta spend time in the news. You can't completely hide in a bubble. We're not here for ourselves, we're here for each other. And of course, I just seen a UFO. I saw a UFO, there she go, right there. You don't have to ask me, I didn't see nothing else. Because that's how the human brain works. I didn't see any of these other titles, but as soon as I hadn't seen that right there, that's what we're gonna go to. Because it's nothing more important to me. It's not more important to me. If there's free energy and we can feed everybody with free energy, everybody can get to where they need to in their hovercrafts, we can 3D print everything that everybody's fighting over, then the answer to human conflict is free energy. Nothing more important to me. I need the people to stop fighting. I need the monkeys to stop hitting me with rocks and come into my house, my cave with stones and sticks because they want my income or they want what's in my bank account or they want what's in my fridge. I'm sick of that. We need to end human conflict, and free energy does that. And these blind ships are everywhere. I mean, we have enough government documents. Yeah, come on, man. We need to be honest. Let's be honest. We, outside of just common damn sense and looking at all the planets that are out there, no one is intelligent life. We done had enough people who work for the CIA and the FBI and Homeland Security and the Air Force and military. We done had enough of these people tell us that not only are aliens real, but UFOs are a thing that we don't understand. We don't know what they are. We done had enough of that. We now know free energy is a thing. We need to push for that. That should be the only thing coming out of government's mouth right now. What is free energy and how do we get it? What do we need to declassify? How do we make an open source world? Or how do we have a discussion, get all the world's engineers together to see who is flying that damn ship? Assuming I'm wrong. Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say all the whistleblowers in line, the ones that won't investigate, and the government doesn't have this stuff and it's not them. Let's say it's aliens. Don't you want like the world's engineers looking up at that thing, trying to figure out how that thing does what it does so we can get the hell out of work? Start living living the lives that we want to live. Don't you want your neighbors to be happy? You know, when your neighbors are happy, they don't want to kill you and steal what you got. All right. So I think right now it's kind of a grown-up stance to say, yes, absolutely, there are aliens out there. They've come here. We've known that for the longest time. Science is agreeing with ancient archaeology and a lot of the religious sightings that this stuff is real. We just don't know anything about it. I think we have to do that.
I really hate how presidential candidates make these big promises just to get votes, when you know there's a good chance they'll never deliver. So many of them make a huge promise that is near and dear to my heart, too, and I'm sick of them playing with my emotions. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about the fact that all these candidates over the years keep promising to declassify government documents on aliens. Stop messing with me, man! Hillary Clinton promised to do it in 2008 and then again in 2016. She said, barring any threats to national security, she'd let everyone see all the things the government knows about aliens. And the New York Times ran this huge, long article about it and everything. And she even used the new term the military has for UFOs, UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, showing off her alien prowess. Now, I'm no fan of Hillary Clinton. That's well documented. But still, I did very much enjoy her pandering to me, an ancient astronaut theorist who always says yes when it comes to aliens. And she's hardly the only candidate to do that. Bernie Sanders went on Joe Rogan's podcast a few months ago and did it too, saying his wife would demand that he tell the world all that he knew should he win the election this year. He was being more flip about it, but still, he said it. Andrew Yang has also hinted that he believes aliens are real and thinks we need to investigate them more. And now it has just come out, now, that Amy Klobuchar has made the pledge too. A few months ago, the Conway Daily Sun, a local paper in New Hampshire, asked her if she had heard about David Fravor, a fighter pilot in the US Navy. Back in 2004, he was flying a combat exercise over the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Southern California when he saw what he described as a huge white tic-tac flying at incredible speeds, making incredible maneuvers, and with no visible engine or exhaust plume or windows, just a big white tic-tac moving around in all these ways that defy our current technological know-how. At the time, Klobuchar wasn't too familiar with the story, but she promised the paper to look into it.
Okay. Questions. I got some questions. I got questions. Because I always like it when people promise you stuff. I love it. I love when people promise you stuff. You know when you got married and the guy promised you, say every Wednesday we're gonna go out to dinner. I'm gonna get you roses twice a week. You know, like when you're dating a guy and you got all these promises. Promising things that you actually don't have the ability to deliver on. Promising things that you know historically are not true. Promising that you're going to give them some 4 or 5 nights out the week and you know the human body doesn't even work that way. You got to get older. It's just not going to happen unless you got a sex robot. The classification of free energy is so far above a president's head. We learned this with Clinton, okay? The presidential candidates do not have the ability to give you any information on UFOs or aliens. They don't. They're 12 levels of security above their heads. We've already heard this before. The presidents don't run America. Okay, America is owned. Okay, the janitorial department, the Department of Fear. That's what they are in the organization. They actually don't have the ability to get you out of your job with free energy. We can give up on this. You can make all the promises you want. That's not owned by them. They don't have the right to do that. They can't do that. And you know what? And who was the last president who tried? And how's he doing? Anybody talk to him recently? You know, that's one of the theories is Marilyn Monroe. She found out some stuff, and you see what wasn't happened to her, and see what happened to the guy that told her the stuff that she wasn't supposed to know. Reality. So yeah, I don't believe in this whole believing that people can give you things that they don't actually have access to themselves. You become an American president, they sit you down and they show you how the world works. And you know what? You really shouldn't have to say this to us. It had to be said to me, but you shouldn't have to say that money and power rule the world. If you know that money and power rules your job site, if you know money and power and relationships rule your community, your township, if you know money and power rules your neighborhood, then money and power rules your nation. And if money and power rules your nation, then you can kind of stop with the whole presidents decide. That's a fantasy given to us. So yeah, I don't even know who this is. Who is this? Is this an American election? I'm so far from it. I don't even know who she is and if she's running. Is she here or is she in Britain?
So just recently, she sat back down with them and she said she did look into it. And yeah, you guessed it. She's now made the pledge to declassify government UFO and alien documents too.
You can.
Which would be awesome. But unfortunately, just like Hillary, Klobuchar probably isn't going to be president either.
Well, it doesn't matter if you are or not. I mean, think about the whole, how it works, right? So you can say as a president, I'm gonna declassify something, and what does the CIA or the FBI or that agency do? They say, okay, sure, Freedom of Information Act, right? Anybody go out and read the Freedom of Information Act request for the Adam and Eve story? Anybody go read that? Anybody? I read it. Did you read it? Well, truth being told, I read 20% of it. Because 80% the CIA was like, nope, you ain't reading that. You can't. Absolutely, you are not allowed to read the Adam and Eve story that's classified by the CIA. That was so profound to me. The president can declassify anything they want. They can declassify the title. That's what they'll do. I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna declassify. The name of the document is a full history of Americans' relationship with aliens and UFO, reverse engineering, aircraft they found under the pyramids and the Sphinx and everything else. That'll be the title. And I'm gonna declassify this president. I could run on that. President Gerard, I'm gonna declassify. They redact everything but the title and like maybe the number of the pages. You can read the whole document. Read the whole thing. You're gonna read the title. You're gonna read the name of the first chapter. Why the American people stupid as hell? Then page 1, page 2, page 3, I bet you read the whole thing in like 10 minutes. Presidents aren't allowed to do that, right? We have an oligarchy. I started out this broadcast with Plato talking. We have an oligarchy, all right? You can't have an oligarchy with a president. We need to stop pretending we have a democracy. You can't have an oligarchy and a democracy both at the same time. The definition of democracy and oligarchy are different. Either corporations rule or you have total say in your government. You do not have total say in your government. Bernie Sanders told you that. Trump told you that. Obama, all of them told you that, but you weren't listening. You weren't like really listening. You were listening, but you weren't like real. It's like Martin Luther King. Y'all was listening, but you weren't really listening. And that's why y'all out there fighting white privilege and supremacy and all this other nonsense, using a person's skin to judge their character. You was listening, but you wasn't really listening, were you? All right. Well, let's see what the rest of this is ridiculous.
And the truth will remain locked up in government secrecy. Or at least it will until the aliens themselves decide whether it's time to let it out or not. And then it probably won't matter who's president.
Yeah, see, I think that's fake news. I don't think it's locked up in government secrecy. I think it's locked up in the people who own its secrecy. And the whistleblowers kind of told you that. They farm it out to corporations and it gets patented and it's their own. They own it. Or before they do that, the CIA classifies like all the free energy devices, those 1,000 patents for energy devices that are highly efficient, they classify. And if you own it, that means you go to prison. You ain't gonna own it. And that's how you keep things out the public domain. So yeah, presidents aren't going to give you that. We have an oligarchy. We need to act like it. Gerard for president 2020. He's declassifying everything. John knows. I'm going to tell you how that's going to go. Let me tell you how that's going to go. John knows you're going to step up and decide. Wait a minute. Is that John Sean? I just started thinking, wait a minute. John, no. John, you don't know. John, is that John Sean? So anyway, I'll tell you how that's going. Oh, we're going to get together. We're going to make him president. Y'all make a page on Facebook, start doing And then the whole time, Gerard, you said you're going to run for president. I didn't say that. No, John Knows said that. And a few other people said, I didn't say I was running for a damn thing. Sorry, we need to do an interview. What do you think about this? I ain't running for a damn thing. Y'all can do it. It'll be a none of the above. It'll be a real none of the above election because I ain't going nowhere. I ain't put my name on nothing. I ain't saying you're going to have to sign my name. I don't want to be president of the United States. Why in the world would I want to be an actor in Hollywood and them tell me what I got to say and do, where to go, where to poop, what kind of jello I can have on Wednesdays, the only decision I can make. I don't want to be a president of no damn America because America doesn't exist. Why would I want to be president of a slave colony? How does that look? Look at me. Look at me. Do I look like I want to be a slave master? And not even a master, because you ain't the master as the president. You're like one of the field hands. Do I want to be that? Hell no. Not America. John, you get me something signed in triplicate from every single American, 240 million, that they're all going to take a bullet for me. You get them to sign. You get them to stop fighting over how Trump is fighting the deep state and or Trump is like the demon or he's the angel or whatever they're fighting over nowadays. Ice cream and obviously chocolate is the best ice cream. Vanilla ain't the best. Whatever they're fighting over today. You get all of them all on the same page, sign in triplicate. You fax that over to me, and that they're gonna take a bullet for me. I declassify everything. I get in the president's office. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not in this world. Hell no. First of all, it's against my philosophy. It's against one of my core principles. I don't know enough to tell anybody what to do. It's against my core. I'd be a sellout if I even accepted anything like that. I don't tell my kids what to do. Oh, damn, trying to tell 240 million people what to do. I think America needs to collapse. I do. Y'all not gonna like it, but I do. I think we were better as a people, as tribal people. I think America should break up into state tribes, and then we should break that down into regional tribes, and we should break that down into township tribes, and we just keep breaking government down on that level till we get a sense of ourselves. Until we're sentient, you can't have a government. Government is so far beyond what we are capable of right now, including money. You can't have a currency. Until we have freedom, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Until we have freedom. If you drug me, get me one of them LSD programs. Did y'all know the Unabomber was in the LSD program? Did y'all know that? The government did that to him, then he went around and started bombing you? The Unabomber. Because technology said it was coming to kill everybody, so he wanted to bomb the people making the technology. Y'all know him? The government made him. And he was telling on his government. He was a whistleblower trying to tell you what they're doing. Guess what? Everything he said is happening right now. Look, they're monitoring you, your drawers, your kids. They got the big pedophile database to protect the Epstein and his island and all the other islands. They're making killer robots. Everything he said was going to happen is happening right now. Y'all was scared of him. Yeah, you might get me as president, John, if you put me in the LSD program, make me a Manchurian candidate. But you just need to put one program in me if you do that. I'm gonna only do one act as president. I'm gonna just dissolve the United States of Rothschild America. That's it. Just delete every law. That's what we need to do. That's it. And then they kill me. They probably wouldn't even get that out of my mouth. Delete every law. Because we don't know enough to tell anybody what to do. The legislation is the opposite of freedom. Law is the complete opposite of freedom. It's against my core philosophy. I think every law is illegal. I think every government is criminal. I think every market is a black market. Everything out there is stolen. And I don't think we should live in a world like that. And as long as we are that de-evolved, we cannot have power structures that have power over other people. The only reason we even got into nations is because we were scared of each other. I'm not scared. Everything about a president and government is against my philosophies in life. I'm not scared. Why am I going to be scared of my neighbor? My neighbor wants to kill me, then he just need to come kill me. But I'm not going to get in no group with other people trying to make him safe for me. That's a core violation of his rights, his free will. You know, I may not be a Bible thumping, believe in every scripture type of guy, but I believe there's a lot of truth in that Bible. And one of those truths is free will. And if God got some big eyes and a big head like that, I don't think so. I think this is a little G. I think God done made creation and it creates creation. If God says everybody got free will, then I ain't got nothing to say to Kim. I ain't got nothing to say to Lori. I ain't got nothing to say to John. I ain't got nothing to say to Sarah. I ain't got nothing to say to Susan about how they should live their lives. As long as they ain't hurting nobody else, then they should be able to go do that. Free will. So the very core of government, of getting together with other people to force other people to be like me, because my political party is a narcissistic, sociopathic club that utilizes groupthink to force other people to be like us because we always right. Doesn't fit with me. And I wouldn't want to be, not why I have kids. You know what? I take that back, John. I would be president if I didn't have kids. I would, because I just don't want them looking at me saying, hey, that's who we need to be. Nah, I need to be the change that I need to see in them, which means that I can't have anything to do with this government nonsense. I can't have anything to do with political party now. I want them to be a better me than a me. I want them to be upgrades of me, right? I used to be in politics. I used to believe in all this stuff. I used to go meet with them and read the laws and everything. I'm not interested in that no more. I realize what it is. That's Susan Low Vibe. I'm gonna get from now on, Susan, your name is Susan Low Vibe Worcester. Low Vibe. Because she like, that's her word. That's her word. She like low vibe, and she's right. That's low vibe. Government's low vibe. I don't like the low vibe. I want to vibrate high. Put your vibrator on high. I'm not even sure where that's going to go. We get these women here like, we don't need men. Oh, Lord. All right. So was Manson. Oh, you're Manson, Lord? Ooh, maybe we should do that today. We should do a watch party for Manson later today. That was informative and delicious and nutritious for everybody's belly. Manson was not crazy as you thought he was. Your government crazy. Okay, Manson was sick. There's a difference. But that he said a lot of things. He said, you know what? That one interview with Manson, he said more truthful things than your government did since its inception. He said more truthful things in that one video. But that's when, you gotta live on principles. Principles are the key. Government-made murderers, yes, Lori, they do, and they're still making them. We are a mental illness manufacturer making oligarchical thing that needs to be collapsed and something sentient needs to be put in its place. Unfortunately, going in the opposite direction to one world government. Yes, we are pegged, which is why I believe in the new world unorder. That's what I believe in. Because sometimes I say stuff, I'll talk about automation, robotics, resource-based economy, stuff like that. And they're like, that's new world order. And I'm like, no, that's not. That's just called giving everybody what they want so they stop killing each other. I believe in the new world unorder. I don't think you should be ordered. I don't think nobody knows enough about Peg Mac to tell Peg Mac two things about anything. That's what I believe. I believe in a new world unorder. When people have what they want, they leave you alone. They're pleasant. But when you deny things from them, like we talked about yesterday with artificial scarcity, you turn them into monsters. The monsters that Lori's talking about, the murderers and killers and rapists. And I think murder, killing, and raping is a bad idea. And I don't think you should have a government that makes more murder, killers, and rapers because they're an oligarchy and they make a lot of money from the corporations that actually turn people into that. I think that's low vibe. Susan Low Vibe. All right, how do you really know what's happening in the 3D world? Is you don't even, or you don't ever leave your hermit cave. Susan, I don't know what's happening in the world. Susan Low Vibe Worcester. I don't know what's happening in the world. That's why I don't tell nobody. I sit back here and laugh. You know what I do? I'm like a turtle. I come out my shell every now and then, look around. Yep, they still crazy as all hell. All right, go back in. No, I don't know what's going on. I don't convince anybody. I don't convince anybody nothing. I don't want to convince you with nothing. I tell everybody, don't follow me. Don't follow me. I stay in my shell. I peek out and I'm like a turtle. I live on principle. I'm gonna look out and I say, that's a wolf, that's a bear, that's a velociraptor, that's a cougar, and I don't know what that is, but it looked like it got big teeth and fangs and it wants to eat me. Let's call it the U.S. government. I'm not coming out my shell. And I'm gonna go right back in my shell. That's all. That's the only thing I convince you of. How about that? I convince you of it's dangerous out there. It's dangerous out there and everything want to eat me. So I go back inside. That's it. I just have principles. I live on principles. I'm not gonna convince you I know because I don't know. Everybody's controlled opposition. Like I said, they control all the information on the internet. They control all the information in the real world. They control everything. And I don't know what's going on. Until we get an open source world with free will, I'm not engaging. But yeah, I hide, because they'll eat you out there. They eat you up. They chew you up, Susan. I know. You go out in the river because you tough. I ain't tough. Nope, I ain't tough. My shell is not hard enough to go out in America and deal with the Americans. I run from arguments. I don't have the time. I got important things to do in my shell. Very important things. What is the deal with Timothy McVeigh? Ooh, Megs. Yes, Timothy McVeigh. Let me see. Timothy McVeigh was the guy who they said blew up the building in Oklahoma City. Well, first of all, when we talk about Timothy McVeigh, Megs, whatever Timothy McVeigh was actually up to, whatever he was actually thinking, if it was something that would bring freedom or friendliness or happiness or anything to the American people, then it's obvious I won't know anything truthful about Timothy McVeigh. And I only know what the media told me. When the whole Timothy McVeigh thing happened, I still believed in the media. I still believe that they were honest. I still believe that the billionaires' media was telling me truthful things. We don't know nothing about Timothy McVeigh. I think it's fun to speculate. It's fun to talk about aliens. It's fun to like speculate on things we don't know. But at the end of the day, I always back out, Meg, and say I don't really know. I don't know. We don't know anything about Dr. Sebi. We don't know anything about Martin Luther King. We don't know anything about JFK. We only know what they haven't wiped. Like, what was I looking for this morning? I was looking for something this morning, Max. The geoengineering, right? I was looking up geoengineering this morning because I was looking at that video from Australia. The guy was saying this is all geoengineering. And I noticed that all the negative, if 5 years ago, you did a search for geoengineering, you had crazy people, you had people pointing at the sky, yelling and screaming, right? Geoengineering is a bad thing. Nowadays, everything is good. It's all good. Do a search on YouTube. You tell me how that goes out. The megs at geoengineering, oh, it's gonna save the universe, it's gonna save the human race, it's gonna save this, it's gonna stop climate change. We need to get to geoengineering right now. I don't care what they do. We need to spend for it, make a tax, do something. We need to get the government geoengineering. It's all positive now. They literally control our reality. This is the matrix. You know, if I had to speculate on Timothy McVeigh on the lying information that they let out there, I'd say the American government didn't like him, and damn it, he probably sure was a swell guy. You know, I'm not saying that he did a good thing, but if they didn't like him enough to promote him in the media as a bad guy, he probably was on to something. He could have been a Manchurian candidate. They can make you do stuff. They can put pedophile information on your laptop. They can down. I don't believe nothing. I believe what George Carlin said is true. I have one rule. I have one major rule. I don't trust anything an oligarch tells me. I don't. Because I know that they're going to only tell me the things that are profitable. So yeah, I don't know anything about Timothy McVeigh. I'm not going to convince you of any of that. Uh-oh, my battery's dying. Let me see. Gerard, how is every law going to be deleted if you refuse to get out of your hermit's office? Well, because Susan, in my shell, I got this thing called the internet. And on the internet, I can talk to millions of people without going nowhere. If I get outside, I can only talk to 7 people at a time. And now you can't even get 7 Americans at a time because they got things to do. You might get 2 people, 1 person to listen to you. But on the internet, you can make a video like this and you can influence thousands of people. So what I do is I spend my day listening to people smarter than I do and from inside my shell. And I promote them best that I can. That's all I do. Del Bigtree, like we talked about. Sometimes Susan come up with some real positive, amazing things. Who's that? Kim, Lori, John, Patricia. Y'all come up with some things. Not Patricia. Did I say Patricia? I did. She always Michelle Obama Dingling. I'm sorry. Patricia has me laughing. And I just share it out. I influence more people from inside my shell than outside. So yeah, I'm not an outside person. I'm an outside. I'm a garden person. I'm an outside person. Outside in my land, in my yard. I'm not an outside anywhere else. So I like being out, but not that out. Who is that? I don't know who that is. One world cooperative anarchy would be preferable. One world cooperative anarchy would be preferable. Yes, that's if you read books, Kim Jackson. If you don't read books, anarchy is the demon. It's uncivilized serfs and peasants living their own lives, and we cannot have that. Cannot have it. As serfs and peasants actually, like, I don't know, coloring and making wood things and and thinking and like raising children and not scaring each other. That would be anarchy. You can't have that. Billionaires can't become trillionaires that way. Millionaires can't become billionaires if people aren't controlled and being raised in slave colonies. You cannot have anarchy. Because anarchy would be anarchy. Anarchy is literally free will. Then all the things that the religions taught, that means that all that would come true, that people would turn into beautiful creatures and love each other and give them the shirt off their back. All right, what else we got? I saw the alien news, and you know how that does me, grab me. Pop up. Pompeo claims Iran likely shot down Ukrainian Boeing as U.S. rolls out new sanctions. And I guarantee you that the shooting down of that Boeing had nothing to do with Iran at all. And the sanctions is still about what they've always been about. Starving poor people to get them to turn into poor terrorists, and then lying to Americans to make them think that poor people can affect their national security. That's what it always is. It's every administration. Don't ever trust the oligarchs, people. Don't ever trust the oligarchs. Just because you like them and they're not the other side does not mean that they're telling the truth. The oligarchy own all the parties. All right. Fighting Australia's bushfires. What y'all want to watch? What's important here? Sanchez, nothing more patriotic. Nothing more patriotic than criticizing your government. Ooh, I agree with that. And I think the patriots need to watch that. Can we watch that? We need to watch that. Because being a patriot isn't fighting for corporations. Being a patriot has nothing to do with flags and anthems or any of that. Being a patriot means you're fighting for your neighbors. That's what warriors do. They always fight for poor people. They don't fight for billionaires and kings and the wealthy. And being a patriot also means you got to probably be able to read. You got to be able to read those Bill of Rights. And if you were fighting for the people that had taken the Bill of Rights, you're not a patriot. That's not patriotism. That's called being a slave.
You know, if ever there has been an opportunity to take a good look at the media, it's this week. Reporters, unfortunately, instead of questioning war, seem to have been almost cheerleading it on. Going on and on and on and about Soleimani was a really, really bad guy. He was a terrorist. Though, by the way, most of them will admit they never even heard of the guy before this week. Why do they seem to feel, reporters, the journalistic community in our country today, seems to feel the urge to do the war state's bidding when in fact, hell, we're trained in journalism school. We're trained to do just the opposite, to question those folks, like we tried to do during the Korean War, the Vietnam War. Joining us now, Ruben Navarrete. He is a journalistic real McCoy, syndicated nationally by the Washington Post, nominated for a Pulitzer, no less. And he's good enough to talk to us now. Ruben, I don't know if you got a chance to see what was going on this week with all the cable news companies, et cetera, but it seemed like they were buying every line they were given. And that's not to say some of those may not be true, but they did so unquestionably, immediately. Just the opposite of what we did during Nixon, the opposite of what reporters did during the LBJ era. What happened to us? Why are we such sudden war fanatics in the media?
It's a good question, Rick. I almost want to look at this in terms of the different generations involved. The baby boomers have their stamp on Vietnam for sure, I think the baby boomers never forgave people like Secretary of Defense McNamara and others for getting us into Vietnam and really putting a hard strain on that generation. But since then, you've seen this trend in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s of younger reporters taking at face value what they hear from government officials. And I think they dropped the ball in the second Gulf War. I think they dropped the ball with regard to some of the troop deployment under President Obama. There are rare instances, Rick, like a recent story in the Washington Post, where they break open the story and they say, well, look at all these mistakes that were made in Afghanistan, for instance. But by and large, I think a lot of reporters are out of their depth. A lot of networks are not covering the foreign news like they should have, and they take the government at their word.
Is it because they know that if they were to try and report the truth and question one of these guys who sits on their panels every night from the CIA or the NSA or whatever, and they say, hold on a minute, how do we know this guy Soleimani was actually going to plan some kind of attack against us? Where's the proof? And if they ask those questions, somehow CNN or Fox or, name your network will fire them?
Well, I think that they're caught between a rock and a hard place. On the one hand, you have the anti-Trump media that wants in their bones to criticize Trump.
Right. And
to go after Trump for, quote, starting a war. On the other hand, they want to be seen as patriots. They don't want to be seen as un-American. and they have this sense of, of politics ending.
Criticizing your government is American.
Yes.
There is nothing in the world more patriotic than questioning your government for the sake of the people who you're supposed to defend the truth against. My God, that's the principle. That's why guys like you and I got into this racket.
It's true, but we see that didn't apply, for instance, during the 8 years of the Obama administration, when a pro-Obama media, let me see if I got this straight, a pro-Obama media didn't believe what you just said. They took everything Obama said at face value and said, how are the girls today? Those press conferences were a joke. So I think politics has permeated our mission and made journalists much more partisan, blue team, red team, and they don't do what they need to do, which is ask the hard questions.
By the way, it looks like this is pretty good reporting on the part of the New York Times to finally nail down this rocket thing. My opinion from what I've read. You agree?
I do agree. And I think I agree with Ritter's comment beforehand. This is the fog of war. It envelops the media as well.
All right, Ruben Navarrete, as usual, it's always great to have you on. Always great to have this repartee with a fellow journalist, and I certainly appreciate it, my friend. Thanks so much. So,
which of course comes down to the basic philosophy. If you actually have a population of people who just want to hear what confirms their indoctrination, then the media is going to do exactly that. At this moment in time, I'm not blaming the media. I'm not blaming the media. They're just telling people what they want to hear, and people tune in. As long as people tuning in, they're going to tell them what they want to hear. It's a good idea. It's a good idea for them to make profit. It's an oligarchy. Once again, if you accept the fact that we live in an oligarchy and you realize the media is only going to tell you what you want to hear, they're going to tell you what's profitable. Good morning, Jamie. Shit, of course we got Brother Kevin is in the house. I had to resize this thing over here so we can see it. We see blaming the victims for psyops. You never blame the victim. That's the dumbest thing. You never blame the victim. Truth by design, by heavy arm twisting and blood sacrifice. See, there's no ultimate truth other than the fact that it is always co-chaotic and relative. Imperial reality is merely a perspective agreed upon. Absolutely. And so no one individual person will ever know what's true. No one individual person can ever tell you what's true because they can only tell you what's true to them. You can't really take a ignorant stance of force against anybody else, or aggression or violence against anyone else, because you don't ever really know what's true. You only know your own perspective. Absolutely. There's the video of the missile that hits the Ukrainian airliner midair. Once again, whatever that's about, we'll never really get to know. We can guess and speculate, but they don't allow, if it's truthful and the billionaires run everything, you'll never get to know about it. Security versus privacy, data battling child abuse. Security versus privacy. Well, in general, when it comes to privacy, if the kings and lords say I can't have none, they can't have none either. That's how I get down. If you're telling me I can't have any privacy, I might agree with you. I really don't have no secrets, nothing I need to hide. But if I don't get to have none, then you don't get to have none either. And if I got a government that tells me that I don't get to have any secrecy, but they got endless, ultimate, unchecked secrecy, then we got to breach a contract. I'm not interested at all. You can't do my security if you got secrecy. Think about that from a logical perspective. Let's say you hired a security guard outside your house. You're that crazy husband with all the cameras and stuff, thinking somebody coming to invade you, and ain't nobody ever invaded you because you're bored in life. You just don't want to say that. You need to get out your work, take some vacations, try some cannabis. And you hire a security guard. And that security guard got all kind of secrets. Takes away your privacy. Get to see everything in your house, what you're doing, where you're going, why you're doing what. But he says, but you can't know when I'm here. You can't know what I'm looking into, and you can't know what I'm up to. Would you trust that security guard? You that stupid? That man trying to rob you. I worked there. Goodness, where was I at? I think I was working in the pharmaceutical industry at the time. And, you know, we came into work one day and like 30 of the laptops and computers were gone. The security guard was sitting right there still working at the front desk. And people say, oh yeah, we got robbed last night and then somebody stole 30 laptops and computers. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, and the security guard sitting in front of the desk. There's only one way in the building and one way out the building, okay? And they both, no, it was two. But you need a key card to get out the back door. And it had a big old camera right there. I know a security guard. I know he stole them. To come to find out he and his friends, they stole all the laptops and computers. Same thing. Let's say for an example. As an example, let's just say, let's speculate. Let's hypothetical situation. You got a building and somebody flies a missile into it. And the security camera was turned off at the time that the missile flew into it. The security camera worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But at the moment in time somebody flew a missile into your building, somebody turned off the camera. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that 9/11 was not an outside job. That's what it tells you. But when you trust people that got ultimate privacy to do your security, you will be very insecure, okay? You'll be very insecure. That's just common sense to me. Common sense. But I guess sense ain't common no more. There is no ultimate truth. There is only truth, no more and no less. The rub is there is our infinite paths to truth. Find yours and respect each of us to find our own path. That's it, Brother Kevin. Kevin don't say much I disagree with. Kevin always nailing. There's no ultimate truth. Because you know what? Because even with ultimate truth, like we can have ultimate monkey truth. I agree. Well, we can have ultimate, but it's not ultimate truth. Because what's true, if you get all the monkeys together, the Americans and the Russians and the Iranians, Iraqis, and everybody agreeing to the fact that we all in this together and we all start working together, we can only make monkey truth. We don't know what's going on with the aliens. We have no idea what's happening outside of this planet. So there's no ultimate truth. Because no matter how big you get, it gets bigger. We've never seen the end of the universe. You've never seen the end of it. You can never be all sensing universally and take everything in unless you're that God thing. You will never know everything. We don't know everything. We probably don't even know anything. If you think about like what there is to know, we are just an ignorant group of people. Endless information. So there's no ultimate truth. We can't even see the edge of the universe. So the universe is 15 billion years old. How do you know? How do you know? You know somebody I don't know? Are you in an email list that I'm not on? The universe, how old are you? Oh, you're 52? And you know the universe is 15 billion years old? You know that? And now because you have scientists saying that that's not even true. They're saying that, you know, we can only see to the ends of how fast light can travel, right? If it has no light, we actually can't see it. That our eyeballs only see what collects light, and our sensors. And if the universe is flying far apart from each other, the actual galaxies are moving faster than the speed of light away from each other, then the furthest you can see is 15 billion years. The universe could be endlessly old. It could be 100 billion years old. So I absolutely, totally agree. From a scientific, spiritual, religious, all those backgrounds, Kevin, that's solid truth. We don't know what's ultimately true. All we can do is try to get better. All we can do is try to discover more truth. That's all we can do. Or no, I take two things we can do. We can lock into ignorance. We do that. We do that very well. We can lock into ignorance. We can get together with people who believe the lies we believe and form a political party and force other people to be like us. We can do that. We can lock into ignorance. Or we can just accept that, we need to constantly increase our sensing. We need to constantly listen more to people and their perspectives and grow the truth that we know. That's what I think we should do. That's what I think we should do. All right, I'm gonna put on this ending music because I'm gonna do the last comments and I got to get out of here, y'all. It's Friday, Freedom Friday, one of the days of the week where Americans stop complaining and they start getting excited because their world's gonna be for the next 2 days what it should be every day. Because everybody keeps voting for a government that's lying to us about free energy and war and food and oxygen and air and H2O and love and all of that stuff. using groupthink to keep us in conflict with each other because they're abusing our monkey genetics. What is that? Launch the missile. Y'all see anything else on here? Barrels of calling out Hollywood. IOC will not tolerate kneeling protests at the 2020 Olympics. Oh, she won't? Okay. Well, she's not supposed to. Did y'all think IOC was supposed to be behind the guy with the afro? What's his name? I forgot his name. Y'all supposed to be protesting for him. Y'all supposed to not watch the Olympics for him because he took a knee and then the NFL came on and y'all couldn't help it. Y'all had to watch the Coliseum and forgot it. Kaepernick, that's his name. So I guess IOC says she won't tolerate it. IOC will not tolerate kneeling protests at the Olympics. Does that surprise anybody? That surprised me. But she's a lefty. She's supposed to be with I. You have no idea how the world works. She doesn't support Kaepernick. No, you have no idea how the world works. You have an oligarchy. She has just got a job to higher up in the slave plantation oligarchy. Okay, she can't be anti the Pledge of Allegiance. She can't be anti a symbol for the symbol-minded. She's got to drive the symbol-minded. She's got to guide them. She is now powerful. I had a grown man, grown A man, came in the day I was talking to. He said, yeah, the world's going to change because IOC. I was like, IOC? What is that? Is that like a drug or something? Is that like a mushroom I ain't never heard of? The world going to change? And she like 20, and she like 20 something years old, 25. She going to change the world? Oh yeah, it's going to change everything. Fresh new ideas, he told me. No, because she's saying you got to stand for the flag. That's not fresh. It's not fresh and it's not new. Not fresh and new. I have the genetics back to slavery. I can tell you we used to stand for Massa's flag too. We used to stand for Massa. He used to come in the room. And I just don't believe in slavery. I don't believe in slavery. I think that's a bad idea. And I think it's a bad idea when it come out of AOC mouth. I think it's a bad idea when it come out of Obama's mouth. I think it's a bad idea when it come out of Trump's mouth. I think people should be free and they shouldn't be symbol-minded and focused on symbols. I think that's how you break patriots to their neighbors, is you get them to supporting symbols and somebody buys that symbol's got a price tag on it. So that's not surprising. So I guess she said that. I don't know. It's what the news says, so I guess it must be true. Good morning, Angie. I think Beaufont means empirical reality, but considering the state of the world, imperial fits too. Oh, imperial definitely fits. Empirical reality and imperial, yes, they absolutely both fit. Thank you for that clarification. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning. Good morning. Lori, Beaufont, you're unseen by me. No, Lori, he's over on YouTube. You see him on YouTube right there? See right there? Just look on YouTube and you see like the black or blurry figurehead of a thing. That's Brother Kevin. And right under him, just look like an ugly blob of goo and snot and ochre, and it just look, you can't even make out what that is. That's Beaufont right there. That's Beaufont. All right. Now we joke with each other because we love each other. That's how that works. Jason Burmers has gone quiet. A bit of the coverage on Iran on YouTube. Then I don't know who Jason Burmers is, Mags. It must mean Jason Burmers is probably saying something true. Or they abducted him. They sent the aliens or the pharmaceutical companies or the chemical companies or Monsanto to abduct them. That's what happened. Noticing the comments on Facebook feed are in different order than on Gerard's. Yeah, well, Patricia, because you don't see all the comments. Patricia, AI is making decisions for you because you're not the best Patricia Hauser can be. And AI is going to make you the best Patricia Hauser that you can be by only showing you commentary of people that it wants you to see. That's how all this works. That's why I'm out the game. Once I've seen predictive analysis and I've seen what they do with this data, they have learning software that literally creates you. They're creating a better Patricia Hauser by making sure you don't see dangerous comments by Kim Jackson. Because it'll reinforce some of the things that you post that are anti-American. They can't have that. They need to make sure, Patricia Hauser, you fit in a box and you enjoy your box, proud of your box. You gotta enjoy this world. We laugh, enjoy it, because we all gonna die. Good morning, Jasmine. Yes, endless, absolutely. Thank God. How boring life would be if truth was limited in scope. Exactly, Lori, and that's the point, right? We were given an Eden. We were given a beautiful place where we could be explorers, literally could live through epigenetics advancements, knowing, understanding telomeres, that Eden and endless life that we were promised, exploring, and just there's so much out there we could do. Or we can keep playing survival of the fittest, survival of the luckiest. There's so much we could do. We were given a literal Garden of Eden, and I don't think it was a garden. I think it was a universe, probably. Full of planets, full of life. Glorious creatures out there walking around with 3 eyes and 8 legs on some other planet that the kids could be discovering. Kids who were fascinated by dinosaurs could be out there flying around in spaceships doing studies on Melmac 7. We could be doing all kind of beautiful things. Or we could just be sitting here fighting over oil. Fighting over oil because we can't seem to get past these monkey genetics and the reptilian monkey mind and reptilian brain. Low vibe. Where's Susan at? Susan, get a Susan. Low vibe. We could be vibing high. I mean, thank good, because Lori, most people want to discover things. I'm glad you said that. It's like how people say, oh, well, if we didn't have slavery, we didn't have work, what would we do? We wouldn't be any good. I'm like, oh no, we'd be good. We like to explore. Everybody's mind wants to find something new. Why do you think people got in ships and went out there and fought with the Kraken and all the new lands and pagans? We like to explore and we're greedy. 2 things. Like to explore and we're greedy. You can fix that. Hey, Trish is in the house. Trish, I was watching your family last night on Curse of Oak Island. Y'all, this is what I think, Trish. I think your family, I think y'all done found I think they got the Ark of the Covenant over there. That's what I think. Last guy said that the other night. I think because it makes no sense to me. I guess they dated that structure they found underwater and they dated it back to the 1200s. And that was around the time that they killed all the Crusaders after hiring all the Crusaders to go around the world and murder everybody for Christ. So that's what happens. Every time they send you around to do something stupid, that stupid falls right back on you. And his theory was they put the Ark of the Covenant over there, and there's a lot of good information leading up to that. But then they killed all the Crusaders, which is what they do to the veterans. They send them out there to fight for wars that they lie to get them into, and they come home and they don't give them no health care. Damn sure can't have no cannabis or smoke no tweeds. That's what they always do. That's what they always do. But I think it's the Ark of Covenant. And they killed everybody who knew it was there, except for they had this painting that kind of showed that that's the location. Deep things. Yeah, Trish, your family is on it, girl. I think your family, y'all, is Trish family really? They behind? No, they're not. I'm just playing Trish. Sister girl last name is Blankenship. That's the 2 brothers that are looking for the treasures on Oak Island. Good morning, Maha. Ty posted something the other day saying there was no cloud. The comments on the subject were very interesting. There's no cloud. What you mean? What you mean, Trish? There's no clouds in the sky? I believe that. I believe anything. I believe anything. I would look. It wouldn't surprise me. They lie about everything else. They're lying about the food, the water, the oxygen, the pesticides, the government, the Democrats, the Republicans, the wars. They're lying about everything. Lying about the aliens and probably Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster. If you showed me the other day there ain't no real clouds in the sky, they're not clouds, I'd be like, yeah, I knew it. I'm not surprised at all. It doesn't. Habitual liars, nothing surprised me from habitual liars. AOC, oh, well, you're not taking a knee. Then the brown people gonna go along with it too. We shouldn't take knees. Nothing surprised me anymore. I'd be like, yep, that's supposed to happen. They're gonna cheer for slavery too. Nothing surprises me. Not in the oligarchy. Not when power and money control the world and everybody needs power and money. Doesn't surprise me. I know you're talking about a different type of cloud. I'm being funny. I'm being funny to me. I laugh to myself all the time. Cyber cloud. What is the cyber? Oh, you mean the cloud? You mean the clouds that I worked on? There's no clouds? I mean, I didn't really work on those clouds when I was working in IT. We were building a cloud back then. I made many clouds back. This is going back 15 years. You mean the cloud on the internet isn't really real? What are we saying? Because we got to be careful here, because that actually is my industry. Don't make me pull it. Don't make me pull that out. I'll pull it out. I'll go to Ties 3 and I'll take a look, sis. I'll go take a look. I ain't nobody lying about information technologies. Not do that. I ain't gonna let that. That's my job. That's what I know. I don't know nothing. I say I don't know nothing. When it comes to IT, I know. Hey, listen, my eyes ain't bad cause I've been staring at pornography. My eyes is bad cause when I was a kid, I used to read books and write software, staring at computers my whole damn life. So I'll take a look at it. I hope they find something on Oak Island of monetary value. I will claim that I'm kidding. I know it ain't gonna get you nothing because that's not how the money works. Honey, that's not how the world works. It's money and power. They ain't give you a damn thing. That, trust me. Because kids do that now. They show up at your door, they knock at the door. Y'all ever see these shows where people go find their parents? Daddy ran away, mama done ran away, whatever. Like, listen, if your parent done ran away, it's a chance that they grow up. It's a chance that they grow up. I don't think y'all should go looking for them. I don't think you should do that. Because they show up and they knock at the door. I heard that y'all found $1 billion worth of the Ark of the Covenant. I need something on my rent. We related. That's why you got security. That's why you got national security. Nope, they ain't give you nothing. And this is how my mind works when it comes to that whole go find my mommy and daddy stuff. Man, you want to smack them? You should go find them. That's when you go find them. But if you're looking for like love and consideration and concern and we relatives, I'm your baby, I'm your long lost. Don't do that. Don't do that because they don't care. If I found out, if I knew that I had a child somewhere, blood child, well, I walked away. When I grow up, I'm gonna go find that child. When I stop being 2, because that's how old you have to be to walk away from a child. You got to be 2. I agree. That's a little aggressive. I agree. That's going a little far on that one. You got to be at least 4. You walk away from a child that you created that's born in this world where everything's trying to kill it and murder it, from Democrats to Republicans to Russia to Iraq, people that need food, water, your neighbors fighting over the price of diapers and asteroids coming and super volcanoes blowing up, and you walk away from that child, you got to be 4. You got to be 4. You have no idea what the hell's going on. If they don't come find you, they don't care. They don't care. That's real talk. That's real talk. You ain't gotta like it, and you have to swallow it. But also swallow this with that. Don't let it affect who you are. Because I got a lot of friends, they have no idea who their mommy and daddy is. That's not your mommy and daddy. That's a biological person is having some clubbing and probably drank too much Mad Dog 2020 and you popped out. That's not your mommy and daddy. Your mommy and daddy in heaven. They're in heaven somewhere. That's that. We survive by each other. We don't survive by these parent things. We don't survive just because 2 people, because you can take a thing and put inside another thing and you pop a baby out. Everybody can do that. Almost everybody. 7 billion people on the 6.9 billion people can do that. That's not a phenomenal thing. That doesn't make them your parents. I got parents on the internet. I got parents at home. I got parents on the internet. I don't, biology didn't form that to me. I look up to people. I look up to people who know things more than I do on certain topics. And they're my teachers. We are all one. We're all connected. We don't have mommies and daddies. Somebody got here before you doesn't make them your mommy nor your daddy. Don't look those people up. I don't know how we got into that topic. But that's so sad to watch people go, I just need you to love me. No, you don't. They don't love you. Accept that. But you got a planet full of people that love you. They just don't know you. That's all I'm saying. All right, I ain't get out of here. Don't protect your drama mama onto me. Don't project. No, Cedar, that's a bad idea. Patriotism is understanding that your government never can represent its people. Ooh, yes, unless the people themselves are directly and functionally the government itself. But that would not make them the government, Beaufort. You say some deep things sometimes. I think you went in a circle on that. Maybe I'm not comprehending. I don't think government should exist. I don't think we need one. I think that you are your government. I think Beaufort government, Gerard government, and Trish government, Susan government, and Rebecca government. That's what I think. We got all the world's government should work together. That's kind of how I think about it. I don't think people should get together and form, because anytime you have power, I think it's always going to abuse other people. That's what I think. I think we should be a total anarchy. Mother is Gaia. All right, Maha, you say so. I'm good with that. But I like that too. That's right. You got a mama Earth. You don't need a mama that's on crack. You don't need her. See, let her figure herself out. Just be blessed that you don't have her problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it like that. Maha, you sent me somewhere. Think about it that if your mommy and daddy ain't around, you be happy that you got enough privilege to know that they're wrong. Because they obviously don't know that they're wrong. You take pride in the fact that you are an upgrade from them, because you got this little girl, this little boy that you taking care of, that you would never walk away from a child. You just accept that some people got issues and challenges and genetics and addictions and ignorance that they can't get out of. But yeah, I'm not one to go seek nothing. Don't go seek nothing. Somebody walk away from you, let them walk away. There's a good reason they walked away. Whether you was 1, 15, 32, 47, 69, 32, 102. Somebody can walk away from you, let them. They need to walk away. If you aren't that captivating to somebody, damn it, at 4 years old, 1 year old, with the little cuckoos and before your poop stink because you ain't eaten that chicken yet, if somebody can walk away from you at that age, let them walk. You can in fact push them, trip them. Do something. I know you got to go because you ain't even holding my bottle right. You ain't trying to change my diaper. You ain't going out to work for me. You working for you. Let them walk away. Let people grow up. Don't bring demons in your life and think something good's going to happen. Don't bring people in your life that don't love you. Bring people in your life that love themselves and love you. If not, they need to go. You need to buy their tickets. Buy their tickets and pack their bags for them. I am one for letting people go. Let them go. They need to go. I speak against war and environmental destruction. Do you, Kim? That means you're a domestic terrorist. You might want to stop that. The government don't like that too much. They don't like your domestic terrorism, especially not on no social media. They don't like that. They might throw you in a cage or something, complaining about throwing other people in cages. That's definitely the primary focus, but doing what we can to try to stop things that harm us all is a good idea. It is, Kim. It's called growing up, moving forward, progress. We need to keep progressing and moving forward, but we also have to accept there's a reason why we have not been moving forward. We've remained in the dark ages. All right, I got a comment from everybody, didn't I? Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Let me see. My mama has her story. My papa has his story. Their parents have their story. What you gonna do? Can't go back and shoot at them and eat. Exactly, Rebecca. All you can do is love them. Love them from a distance. You know, that's my take. You feel that you need to go find them and love them. That's up to you. My take is if somebody can walk away from you, let them walk away. Those times, you know, Rebecca, those people back in those times had a whole different configuration of problems, a whole different, and we don't even know what those problems are. We don't know what they were even dealing with. You know, it's a whole different world, different time. In fact, I mean, back then, if you think about it, they thought about these feelings and emotions and children very different than what we do now. We got a lot of free time. We got Facebook time. I know that because you're right here. You got Facebook privilege. You got privileges. And back then, they didn't have Facebook. They didn't have the ability to link together with other people to educate them to understand that you don't walk away from a child, you know? So everybody got their own problems. You love them from a distance. Love people for being the people. Don't love them for what they do. But let people walk away from you if they need to. All right, is that it? The sign of a child becoming an adult is they no longer blame their problems on their parents. Yes, Rebecca, or other people. So we add that in there. They don't blame their problems on other people. They try to pull their own panty drawers and drawers up the damn self and fix their own problems. That's the sign of an adult. Knowing that this world is always stuff coming for your energy. There's always people coming for your energy and you don't give it none. You see a problem, you fix it, and you keep going. You don't sit there and complain, well, the neighbors did it. Well, you did it. And you did it. Yeah. You know, you fix it. If it's a problem, you fix it. Keep moving on. Keep it moving. Because we're always going to have these children with us. We're always going to have adult children. No matter what we do, we will always have people in different stages of maturity and evolving as an adult. We can't wait for other people to fix it. We got a problem to fix, let's fix it. Like America. Like the West, include Britain and everybody else in there. We have the ability to fix everything. We got the ability to save every known problem on this planet, other than climate change, because that's not a problem. It's how it works. Everything else we can fix. Our participation in it, we know we can fix that too. But the government's not fixing it. So obviously it's profitable and they want to keep it. They just want to complain about fixing it. You know, and they got controlled opposition to do that. But everything we can fix. World hunger, violence, poverty, homelessness. We can fix all of that. We're just choosing not to. All right. Your parents are very rare, Trish. Trish, everybody's, Susan, everybody's parents are rare. All of them rare. All of them very, very, very special and rare individuals. It's not our fault, but it's our responsibility to heal. That's it. I mean, it don't count. It's not our fault, but it's absolutely our responsibility to heal. We can heal the planet. We can heal each other. We can heal all these groups. We can do some healing. We can go back to being healers. We can heal the doctors. You know, we just got to choose to. But I think a lot of it has to do with reasoning. Reasoning is a big thing. As above, so below. And we got to get back to reasoning, because what's in the news is always going to be what the plantation wants you to see. Do not trust the plantation news to save you from the plantation. Do not trust the billionaires' news to save you from the billionaires. It's an oligarchy, and that's a profitable project. You need to save yourself. You use your own critical thought, your own reasoning, and how the world has always worked to solve your problems. It's the only way we do, or solve all of our problems, to heal. That's how it works. They will never empower you to depower them. Not gonna happen. All right, I gotta go. Y'all have a great weekend. This weekend, I gotta go. It's Gerard. Love y'all to death. Now, bye-bye.
It looks like it. What about its second failing? Is that any less serious? What would it be, this second failing? That a city of this kind is bound to be two cities, not one. A city of the poor and a city of the rich, living in the same place but constantly scheming against one another.